Are you okay?
No.
Right. Free oatcakes for all, not for you fat bastard.
Hey, Hannah, would you like to do a podcast with me?
No, thank you. Welcome to episode 36 of Ghost Huns. It feels like there's been more episodes. More.
Do you enjoy that Okay. Wow.
Foley.
Okay. No. That's not how Foley works.
Asthma.
And it's not asthma, it's ASMR.
Asthma.
It's ASMR. Can't work like this. Do you like that we say welcome to Ghost Huns together? Or do you think it sounds a bit...
I think it's chaotic as fuck. Should we change it?
Should we do a word each? Welcome
to
Ghost
Huns. No, this
episode
is 37, whatever.
Fuck, you ruined...
Okay, do it again. Go on.
Welcome
to
Ghost
Huns. I can't
episode
36.
Yeah, we did it.
No, okay, we're never going to... I think what we should do in future is carry on reading it together. We're obviously doing 2 records in a day because we've got the same outfit on. And we met previously and talked about how our week was.
Well...
And I slagged someone off.
Do you know what? Yeah, that happened. I would say that, Hannah, you're probably listening to this just before we're off to Edinburgh. I have fear.
What? Basically,
in Edinburgh for 3 weeks, I'm house sitting. And I'm house sitting a big, creepy 3-story house. And I'm going to be by myself. And like the reason I'm doing that...
What about the lesbian couple? Are they not going to be there?
I don't think they'll be there. I think I'm alone. And the deal is that I like water the plants. Oh. And then I get the place for free.
I'm going to come and stay one night.
Yeah, please do. Because honestly, like having started this podcast, I'm now like Lynn's in the corner. I'm getting fucking haunted. Someone's coming for my face. Yeah. Like I'm really scared of staying in that flat for 3 weeks alone. And like, I need to just like suck it up and be like, it's fine. It's free accommodation. Like it's extortionate at the fringe. But I'm like, I've got the dread. I think we'll record an episode in your haunted house of the pod. No, because what you'll do is get the Ouija board out and be like, yeah, there's tons of spirits here. And then you'll fuck off. Yeah. To your No, I'll stay with you. Yeah, but then the next night. Oh, yeah. I won't be with you. That's when it replays. So you don't want to do it in your haunted house? I just don't really want to stay in the haunted house, but then it's saving me £2,000. Yeah. I suck it up and get haunted is what I say. Suck it up and get haunted. Speaking of haunted houses, we did tell everybody on Patreon the other day that the story about my mum feeling someone tap her back. She actually did make up, so she's a fucking bitch. No, hey, Mum. She's not. She's lovely. No, she's not. She's great, but she did make it up. However, yesterday, right, I was leaving Stoke, ready to go and do my drive to London, as I always do, and I walked into the hallway, and now you've been to my house, so you know where the hallway is. Yeah. The door to the cellar was open. What? With the light on, and nobody... Like, we don't go in that cellar. Then my mum was like, is someone down the cellar? And then she was like, Harry. Nothing. Then Alexa started making weird noises. Oh my God, that happened when I was there. Yeah, well, we found out what that was. It was my dad's shit iPad. Oh. That is so broken. It's got like shards of glass. Every time he swipes up, he loses a thumbprint. Because it's so fucked. But yeah, that happened. So that was a bit creepy. So then I left. Wow. I left, bitch. What do you think that is? Like, what's going on there? I think we're getting haunted, mate. I think it's... You've got a haunted house. I think my mum's pissed off the spirits because she's lied. And I think they're into me. They don't like a liar. They like me. The spirits like me. I see. They really like me. They like me. Well, you say that. They think I'm great. You say that. Wait until they're sat at the end of your bed, coming for your face. I do keep having... I don't know if to... I'm not an anxious person. I don't have anxiety as a thing, but I do keep having not even dreams, but I keep jolting awake. Like, really? As if you've just fallen from a plane. Exactly, yeah. Have you watched Hijack with Idris Elba?
My mum, you told my mum to watch it, didn't you?
Yeah.
That poor demented cow. She's been going around trying to find she texted my auntie Karen the other day, being like, Karen, I watched Hijack. I thought it was brilliant.
Oh,
what
did
about
she
that?
like it?
Loved it, yeah. She was like, what about that ending? And Karen's like, what are you talking
Sarah,
about?
don't give any spoilers.
Mad about... Oh, my auntie Karen did send me something that's on in Stoke tonight, actually, that it's not, but obviously we're not there, so I can't even go. But it's true life encounters about eerie encounters with dolls.
Oh my God, that's so up our alley.
It's like in a museum. True life encounters abound of eerie encounters with apparently possessed or cursed objects that bedevil their unfortunate owners. And this original one-man show, Don't Go Into the Cellar Theatre Group present Devil Dolls.
That's weird. Don't go into the cellar. And you literally told me about your haunted cellar.
Oh, do you think we can get up to... Oh, that's so sad. Do you think we can get up to Stoke on Friday?
But then you said the words one-man show and I lost my erection.
I'd go. I think.
I don't think I would. Who's the bloke doing it? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it going to be a theatre piece with a bit of eerie on the side?
I don't mind it, though, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, I suppose
You
so.
know, one-man show gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, that is scarier than anything else.
Yeah, in the wrong way.
He's probably white. He's probably a Tory. Anyway.
So there's a lady who messaged us on Instagram called Amy, and she was writing about, do you remember the episode that I read out where we did a creep of the week about the girl called Amy who went to Devon with her dad?
Oh, and were they
she
like...
saw the doppelganger.
Yes.
And then afterwards she got sick and that kind of stuff. She was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
So Amy has written in and said, hello ladies, I absolutely love the podcast and listen to it whenever I can. I just listened to episode 31 and heard the story about Amy.
Oh, there's two Amy. That's another Amy.
Yeah, Amy to Amy.
Doppelganger.
Amy
doppelgangers.
to Amy. Funky to funky.
Are you okay?
No.
Right.
Of course
I keep doing that to my nephew and he goes, like really sarcastically.
He's sarky. He's so cute.
Fucking stunning, isn't he?
Okay. I just listened to episode 31 and heard the story from Amy about going to the haunted cabin and how she saw someone who looked like her on the camera footage. Well, I've heard, though never experienced it for myself, that when a person sees a doppelganger, they get violently sick.
And she was sick.
Exactly. And she said, according to legend or myth, a person is not actually supposed to come into contact with a doppelganger because it's unnatural. From what it sounds like, Amy may have come into contact with her doppelganger. Keep up the great work and hello from the US.
That explains why I always get ill whenever I watch something with Angelina Jolie in it. It really does explain it. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I was like, you should have, I can't look at Tomb Raider without blowing my guts. I have to get in the bath. It's from both ends. Have you ever done that when you've been so incredibly ill that you've had to get in the bath?
No, you just love getting in the bath.
It's coming out of both ends. Like, you know, when the heave of the sick.
Please don't, because that will make, honestly, the listeners want to vom.
No eating episode.
Don't heave onto the mic.
No, but I won't do it. But you know when you do it, and it's like, oh, you have to get in the bath. I've got in the bath before.
You love a bath?
Not full of my own piss, shit and vom, I don't.
Well,
I really hope that this episode's called Piss, Shit and Vom.
No, it's not going to be called that. I've heard different rumours, Hannah.
What?
I've heard you love that.
Whoever you're talking to, fucking kill him. Okay.
It's actually a bird. A little bird.
A little birdie.
A little tweet.
Little comedy birdie. Do you know what? Comedy is, it's too close, isn't it? There's too many people. We all know each other. It's weird.
I think
we're
the best ones in the industry.
We are the most arrogant. We're the most confident.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but you know, you were saying before.
I'm very confident in how funny I am.
But we were saying I'm quite sensitive, very sensitive soul, aren't I?
I think. Yeah.
Like
like if someone
comedy's the wrong industry for me, really, because I'm so sensitive to other people.
Yeah, but you're not really that sensitive. You're just like, I think you're sensitive. Like if somebody personally sneeps you. No,
Sneeps?
we're talking. Yeah,
what does that mean?
It's sneep, like
sneeps and tatties.
No, that's neeps.
Sounds.
Neeps and tatties is like a
Neeps
big
and
insult
tatties.
with mashed potato. It's like an insult. You're like, they sneep you. You're like, oh, that was a bit mean.
Is that like youth talk? Like, why are you sneeping me?
No, not at all. It's. I'm going to fucking Google this. Hang on. I'm sure it's, unless it's a Stokeism.
I think you're talking shit.
Sneep.
Sneeps and tatties.
Sneeps and tattoos. Have you ever had sneeps and tattoos?
What is that? Sorry? What is sneeps and tatties? Turnips and potatoes? Oh, God,
Yeah, it is, I think.
I'm showing my ignorance here.
Sneeped is a word exclusive to Stoke-on-Trent. An example of being sneeped. Free oatcakes for everyone, but not for you, fatty.
And then what would you say? That you sneeped me.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that really sneeped me, that did. Yeah, it's
So is it? Can you be like, you sneeped me?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was
You
a
sneeped
sneep.
me. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a good word.
Noun and a verb, eh?
I
love a noun and a verb.
Sneeped, not with the potatoes. Free oatcakes for all, not for you, you fat bastard.
Oatcakes? Who the fuck wants an oatcake anyway?
What, the Stoke oatcake? You didn't have one, did you, when you came up?
No.
The Stoke oatcake is amazing, and I won't hear another word about it. Bacon,
Well, I
cheese,
want one.
sausage.
Oh, you have told me about this.
Yeah, they're like savoury
You
pancakes.
keep talking about it and then never giving me one.
I need to bring them. When I go back to Stoke on
You're
Monday.
like dangling the proverbial oatcake.
Maybe I'll bring some to York because me and Suzie are going on a little writing retreat. We're going to York. We're going to the mill at the mill at somewhere. I can't remember what it's called. We're going
Is
to
it called like the mill at Sonning or something?
the mill at
Yawning.
the
Sonning.
mill at somewhere. Yeah, I can't remember what it is though.
You just scratch your face and then I just scratch mine.
I actually was right at the edge of my nose. It kind of looked like I picked it, but I didn't. So we're going to say, we want to say the mill at Worston, but it's not called that. The mill at, anyway. We're going to somewhere called that. We're going to do a little bit of writing. We're going to do some content.
Yeah, we are.
We're obviously taking the Ouija board.
Yeah, I think we're going to be a pair of spooky bitches in York. And apparently York's quite haunted.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I think there's loads. To be fair, I'm going to gen up on all the ghost stories about York.
There's little, what are they called? Little dwellings.
Yeah.
Little forest
I think
dwellings.
some people have written in about York. They're like, oh, you've got to do a ghost show there.
Oh.
Because I do think there's a lot of history attached to York.
Oh my God, that was horrible. I've literally never found someone so attractive.
Imagine I was like, hey, Hannah, would you like to do a podcast with me?
No, thank you.
I've got a good idea. What about...
Not with you, fatty.
No oatcakes for you, fatty.
Okay, shall I pick a tarot card?
Oh, yes, please.
Oh. No?
It's like you're doing when you're like playing lion with a kid, you're going, rawr. That's what you do a lot. And you just poured kombucha down your face. Kombucha. Oh, it's like I'm podcasting by myself again. Hey guys, how you doing?
You explain to the listener what's happening.
Hannah is shutting her eyes, staring up at the ceiling with her hand just floating over a pile of messy tarot cards that are face down, and she's rubbing one off.
I felt a frisson.
She felt a frisson.
Frisson.
Frizzante. I could absolutely murder a prosecco right now.
Oh, wouldn't that? Do you know, I think soon we're going to have to do a drunk episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's about time. Oh my God, what is it?
I think we've had this before.
Oh, I like a repeat.
It's the Knight of Cups.
Oh, fancy fella on a horse.
Fancy fella on earth.
Fancy fella on...
Oh, look at you on your pony.
Oh, right.
Look
right.
at you massive dickhead on your pony.
Oh, this is really nice.
Is it?
It's nice. The knight is representative of someone who is in tune with his emotions.
Ah, his?
Yeah, it's because he's the knight, isn't it? Bunch of racists. He will listen to his heart, her heart, regardless if it is logical or not. Emotions. Hashtag emotions.
I don't think I'm that emotional when I make decisions. I think, if anything, I'm the other way around.
But I think for the episode, you're going to be...
Oh, yeah.
It's just going to be emotions only.
Oh, it's just going to be...
You're going to be vibing it. That's what it means. You're just going to be like with Goosebumps, you're going to be using your heart rather than your head to make decisions.
Stunning.
Absolutely.
There he
Stunning.
is. That's a lovely card, isn't it?
Can we say it together now? Stunning. Stunning.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Stunning.
Tell you what, Hannah. Do you remember when last week?
Oh, we've got to get through your part 3. No, sorry.
Excuse me?
Didn't mean it in that
Oh
way.
my God. That is so rude. I think I'm the next fucking Martin Amis.
Who?
I don't know why he was the first
Martin
author that
Amos?
Amos.
Who's that?
Son of Kingsley Amis.
Who's that?
He's a writer.
What's he
He
write?
wrote the Rachel Papers. He wrote a
heard
book
of
called
him.
Money. He's like this celebrated author, but he actually threw an Evening Standard at me on the tube.
What?
Yeah, he's a mad cunt.
What do you mean he threw an evening standard?
Shouldn't have said see you next Tuesday. I'm sorry, but he was. I think he was just a bit of a fucking bastard.
Why did he throw a paper at you on the tube?
It was really weird. I was sat on the tube, and he sat down. He didn't want the paper under his bum because you know when you have to move the paper aside, and he hurled it. He just hurled it straight at me, and I was like,
"What a mad bastard!"
He was really mad. But you know, one of those like literary genius types.
I don't have time for them.
But I don't either, and I was like, "What a fucking dick move!"
Yeah, just because you're apparently a genius doesn't mean you can go around being a dick.
I know, and he threw it, and then he died recently.
Good. No, that was
Oh
me.
my God. I swear we've had his initials come up on the widget.
What essay?
Sartin Amos. Fucking
Satan.
Satan. Sarten means
Sarten.
pan.
Okay. What was his name again?
Martin Amos.
MA. No, it was RC we
MA.
had.
No, I've definitely, I don't know.
Have you run into any RCs recently? RCs.
Like arses. Yeah, very
Okay, crack
very
on with your part
good.
3.
Can you please remind the listeners of what I talked about last time?
You were in a survey with a bloke and a fridge and a mad bastard.
And the lights just plunged
And the lights
into
plunged.
darkness. So, the TikTok live stalker was actually in the service station.
Survey?
Gas station.
Yes.
And part 2 ends. I looked in horror as I saw the body of a young guy with slick dark hair. His dark eyes stared ahead, lifeless. As I snapped my head back to the counter, the lights switched off and I was plunged into darkness. Over here, I heard him whisper. Part 3. I can't explain how, but anger rose up through me like a snake, rearing its head before biting its victim. I was no longer in flight mode. I wanted this guy dead. It was me or him, and I was ready. He was a murderer. Anything I did from here on in was self-defense.
You're getting so like goody two-shoes. He's a murderer.
I'm allowed.
I want you dead, actually.
I don't like it. Injustice. Anything I did from here on in was self-defense. I heard his sneakers squeak across the floor in the direction of the pay desk and towards me. The neon lights from outside lit the shop and cast shadows into the murky darkness at the back of the store. I was armed. He was not. Let him find me. I gritted my teeth and gripped the knife even tighter. I'm not scared of you, I said. It was meant to come out differently. Instead, I whispered it. Oh, whoops. Can't even do my fucking voices.
What did you say?
I'm not scared of you.
I'm not scared of you, he whispered.
Put your name in the goblet of fire.
That's like my...
Dumbledore whispered.
That's like my whisper.
Whisper. I like a whisper.
Whisper. As a chocky bee.
Chocky bee.
Oh, my God.
It's good, isn't it? The air pockets make it. Arrow.
I would argue that a whisper is the best. Chocolate in the market, yeah.
Oh, that's a big
All right,
claim.
what are you saying?
Used to be Bounty. Controversial, I know, and don't judge me for it.
No,
I've changed.
I enjoy a Bounty. It's not the best.
Do you know what? Caramel wafer.
What?
Caramel wafer bar. Tonics.
What, from Tonics?
Yeah.
You might be onto something there.
I think that's one of the best.
That is
It's a
stunning.
treat.
Have you ever bitten the end off both and then sucked your tea up through it?
Yes.
I am so hungry.
Okay.
I need to get some.
We need to not ever podcast when we're hungry
you know what
because
I
all we end up doing is being like, oh, have you had a crumpet?
I need a crumpet.
Have you had a pie?
I would love one of those crumpets now, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Right. Let's carry on.
I'm going to drink some of my kombucha.
Okay.
Kombucha.
I was armed. He was not. Let him find me. I gritted my teeth and gripped the knife even tighter. I'm not scared of you, I said. It was meant to come out differently. Instead, I whispered it almost to myself. I walked down the aisle closest to me towards the back of the store. Then I heard leaping, like he was skipping towards me. You should be scared of me, he whispered in my ear. I swung round. He was by my side, and I saw his face lit up by the torch on his phone. He was still streaming the TikTok live. He was cackling. I swung the knife out in front of me, swiping the air. He leapt back, nimble. He was fast. Do it, he said. It's what they're here to see. And with that, he lifted the phone, like he was going to take a selfie of us. I saw the horror show on the screen, the comments streaming, variations on kill her and other things I'm too repulsed to mention. I saw my face staring in horror on the screen. I saw him staring into the screen, gleeful, jeering. I was being streamed.
Oh my God, this is such social commentary, Susie. You've gone real political here. I'm impressed.
Political. He looked into the camera and did the peace sign. This was my chance.
Peace sign? Oh, what a twat.
Mm-hmm. This was my chance. Is this what he wanted? Maybe. Fuck you, I said, and without thinking, I plunged the knife into his side. His eyes went wide in horror. It isn't what he expected. I laughed. I couldn't stop. I grabbed his phone as he tumbled to the floor. I held the live stream in front of my face, laughing and choking on the tears rolling down my face. Shock emoji screamed. Shock emoji streamed.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. WTF, no fucking way. The comments kept coming. I just stared into the camera. This is what you wanted. And then I ended it. The phone went dark. I could just hear my breathing and the man at my feet spluttering. I walked as if in a dream to the counter. I found my phone. I called the police. They arrived and I explained everything. My mind was numb. They took me in for questioning. Eventually, I was put on trial. I was acquitted. The jury said I acted reasonably, given the circumstances. The case was splashed across the news, but people forgot fairly quickly. I decided to pack up and leave the house after everything that happened. Years later, I live in a bustling city now and have gotten on with my life. I have a new job and my new flat doesn't have any outside space.
Is this a fucking memoir?
Can you please let me get on with it?
Jesus Christ.
Can you fucking stay with the story?
I now live in an abandoned farmhouse, which we have done up to me.
Yeah. I've actually gone to Farrow and Ball and I've picked out 3 colours, which are actually quite complimentary of each other. Good
Elephant's
shoo-shoo.
breath.
Yeah. I have a new job and my new flat doesn't have any outside space. I live on the 9th floor of a... Can you shut the fuck up, please? I'm trying to... This is my debut.
Some amazing exposed
This is the debut
brick.
of my novel, and you are being quite frankly outrageous. You done?
Exposed brick.
I exposed my brick.
Granite worktops.
I live on the 9th floor of an apartment block. I feel safer here.
Oh, look at that island. Oh, kitchen island.
Can you please? Sock in it.
Mezzanine.
Hashtag mezzanine. I feel safer here. You might wonder if I deleted TikTok. You'd think I would, but the honest answer is no.
We know you haven't. You were sat doing a shit looking at it the other day.
Okay. Every now and then, I drive away from the city into the hills and I press go live. I don't have any intention beyond just wandering through the woods, through the hills. I find it comforting. I just hope I don't appear in your backyard anytime soon.
Oh.
Because I don't know what I'm capable of.
Oh my God, it's turned around.
Thank you. I put a twist in.
Very good.
Thank you. And there's you just mugging me off about the interior design.
Very
but
good.
it was all
When you were like
reason.
3 years later, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're like, how long is this part 3?
No, it was very good. It was
you.
very good. It was better than mine, to be fair.
Yeah, any literary agents listening, get in touch, ghosthunspod@gmail.com and address it to Suzie.
Yeah.
I will write... Actually, you know what? That's thrilled me. I could write horror books.
Why don't you try and write a story for next week?
I will.
Oh, God.
And you have to as well.
I did, and you mugged mine off.
Yeah, it's just
I'm gonna do it again.
yours makes mine look better.
I thought my initial one was good. The Barney one. Do you remember back
Oh,
in
it
the
was
day?
actually.
Did I ever admit to that? That the
Yeah,
Barney
we
story
did.
was
We
written?
discussed that you wrote it. I think like you actually should write a serious one, like a proper scary.
Being sincere really doesn't suit me.
But you did for the Barney story, and it was good.
Was it sincere? It was a bit daft, though, wasn't it? Okay. Do you want a little story?
Yes, please. I'd like another story.
Okay, so this one is a bit of a longie, guys. I don't normally go for longies, but today I thought, why the fuck not? Let me just find the link.
By the way, while she's finding the link, if any of you really loved my writing, can you write in and tell me, please? That would be great.
Jesus Christ.
I just need the validation.
Yeah, she does, actually.
Oh, my fringes are fucking...
Oh, my God. So I've been thinking about getting a fringe. But not, I've been thinking about getting a curtain.
All right, why are you so obsessed with me?
I've been thinking about getting a curtain thing.
Curtains?
Curtain bangs. Yeah. You know, and they're quite a lot longer. Like
Like a long fringe, a longie.
So it's not actually across my forehead. It's just either this going short
You mean
here.
just feathered at the front?
No, I mean like actually getting it cut so that it's this bit shorter, and then just wearing a roller every day, and then like letting it flick back. No.
I'm going to say that you take an inspiration off me, and that's really nice. I
I
think you should do it. We could be oh my God, fringes for the fringe.
Fringe for fringe.
Yeah, I think we should both have a fringe.
Maybe
at the fringe.
I also really want to get a piercing. Will you come with me?
Yeah, of course. Which piercing are you getting?
I'm not sure. I think some ear piercings.
What piercing?
I was thinking here.
Oh, at the top.
No, there, the middle.
The middle of the ear.
Like a hoop. A hoop.
Get a hoop.
Have you got it?
You're getting your hoop done.
I'm getting me up pierced. Getting me arsehole pierced.
I'm not coming with you for that. That's for fucking sure. You're like, hold my hand. I'm like, no, fucking not.
Hold my gusset. Getting my arsehole
Getting a
pierced.
hoop done. Pierced hoop.
Do you think there is such a thing as a pierced arsehole?
100%.
Really? Because
there's
how would you
any-
poo out of it?
You just what are you on about? You can poo over anything.
What
What are you on about?
What if you got your bum all pierced?
It's just a bit. It's just a bit. It will feel like a bump on.
Hang
the
on, are
skin.
you talking about your cheek or are you talking about the actual bumhole?
The whole. But even if you've got a piercing like a stud, it's fine. It's just a little bump, isn't it? Depends how big the fucking earring is.
Oh, see, I thought cheek to cheek.
What, like a fucking...
Like a cage on your arsehole. like your arsehole's in prison. Obviously, the episode title's going to be Cage Your Arsehole.
Your arsehole is in
cage.
prison.
Arsehole cage. Arsehole cage.
Why would you think that? Like, what do you mean? Like a line across
Yeah.
it? Like one of those bars that you
That's
get across...
exactly what I thought, yeah.
Like a cufflink.
Yeah, so every time you'd go for number twos...
It would split it
Split in
into...
two. Yeah. Oh my God, this took a horrible
His and
turn,
hers.
didn't it? Okay, this story is called Don't Go to the Ghost Town Inn. My earphones just creaked. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
One late summer day.
Hang on, you didn't finish the title.
It's called Don't Go to the Ghost Town Inn.
Oh.
I-N-N.
I was like, in where?
What a fucking... That was like a Harry Hill sketch, isn't it? Don't go to the Ghost Town Inn. In where? Okay.
Oh, I'm actually quite scared.
I need some more kombucha. Okay, this is called Don't Go to the Ghost Town Inn. I
I see.
One late summer day, my old Uncle Greg called to tell me his sister had suffered from cardiac arrest. Okay, turns out it's not that funny. The news of my aunt's passing would send me off on a cross-country road trip while my wife stayed at home to look after the dogs and the cats. That's quite a lot of animals.
So sorry, he's fucked off.
His aunt's dead,
Yeah.
so now he's going on a cross-country road trip alone. And his wife's got to stay at home.
What, just out for grief, like a road trip?
No, because I assume it's like for funeral or something.
Oh, right.
For grief.
For grief.
Sorry.
This one goes out for grief.
Sorry, I have to go on a megabus tour around Europe for my grief. Yeah. Oh, yes, it is. Sarah protested at first, saying that she wanted to be there for emotional support, but this wasn't my first funeral procession. There you go. And truth be told, I was never really that close to my aunt, so I didn't care. I was just going to be there for Greg. So after convincing Sarah to just stay at home and spend the week relaxing, I was off on my road trip. Little did I know what I'd be getting into. Oh my God. My first day cruising the interstate went off without a hitch. Despite the sullen nature of the journey, getting out and seeing the open countryside of multiple different states made my spirit feel lightweight and free of life's day-to-day grind. I did a road trip in America. I did it in California. It's absolutely stunning.
Where you saw Big Sue.
Big Sue! I'd end the first day by pulling into a cosy little town, stopping at a small mom-and-pop diner. I don't know what that is.
I'm assuming a diner run by a mom and a dad.
Okay, then that's great. Before checking in at a nearby motel. Day 2 seemed a little bit more hectic. Waking up late, I rushed out of the hotel and hit the road, opting to skip breakfast. Never do that entirely. I spent the better half of 8 hours driving 10 over the speed limit, stopping only to get gas. The survey. Sleeping in had put me 4 hours behind schedule, and come nightfall, I found myself on a long stretch of highway snaking through mountainous woodlands. My eyes drifted between the road and the digital clock on the dashboard. After 12 straight hours of driving, I was cursing under my breath and looking for anywhere to stop for the night. When the woods surrounding the highway became so thick that it began to block out the natural moonlight, I sighed and came to the conclusion I might be pulling over to sleep in my car. To my surprise, a sign popped up, indicating an exit for a town. Tynesgrove, population 700. All the tension left my body, and in an instant I became more relaxed. The exit took me down a wide canyon road, made unnerving by the lack of guardrails and low-hanging tree branches that seemed to reach out for my windshields. Finally, it dumped off, into a flat forested area which I thought vacant at first. After a moment of driving, I noticed the houses buried deep in the tree line. Just when I...
Oh my God, I can't wait to hear that back. The way you said line of tree line.
What did I say?
You went tree line. That was
it's
terrifying.
All that kombucha in my throat.
Go back.
After a moment of driving, I noticed the houses buried deep in the tree line. Just when I began to consider turning round, the dull glow of a gas station appeared in the distance. Knowing I'd need to fuel up to reach the next major town, I decided to pull in alongside one of the pumps. I figured I'd ask the clerk inside if there were any place I could stay for the night. Reaching into my pocket, I pulled out my wallet, only to realise the pumps were so old, not like
and
any
shiny.
No,
can you see yourself in them?
No, these are old.
Yeah.
And they didn't take any form of card payment. Shrugging it off, I walked into the store, only to find it empty. Literally empty. The entire building was just an open room. No shelves or freezers for storing goods or bodies. A gross checkered tile. That's a bit judgmental. A gross checkered tile with numerous stains and cracks dominated the room, accentuated by a flickering light in the back right corner. I stared at the surreal and vacant store in front of me, only snapping back to reality when I saw a cockroach scurrying across the floor. Ugh.
Yuck.
Feeling thoroughly unnerved by the situation, I returned to my car and contemplated my next move. My headlights illuminated a 2-story log cabin after I started driving again. It was a cottage nestled between thickets of trees. Moss or ivy appeared to be growing on the outer walls, and all of the windows were dark, except for one, which had a faint glow. An uneasy feeling washed over me once I turned the car off. I spent another minute debating if I really wanted to approach that building, which didn't have a single source of light besides the faint glow from the first floor window. Stepping out into the night air, it immediately struck me how eerily silent my surroundings seemed to be. After many camping trips in the mountains and forests, I had grown accustomed to the nocturnal sounds of the wilderness. Owls, crickets, the call of coyotes or fox. Oh, what about coyote?
Is it a dog?
No, I don't know. It kind of, isn't it? What about fox? Oh my God, you've just been garroted. The area around this cabin was dead quiet. Not even the slightest rustling of trees or bushes could be heard. Listening to my own footsteps while approaching the inn made the very hairs on my back stand up. Oh, is that your footsteps? That's pretty good. I'll give you that. The door to the cabin had an old rusting metal sign which read "Open," nailed above. That was really good. Oh my God. You need to go. You need to get a job in Foley. You are very good at it.
Thank you.
I spent another few seconds just staring at the sign. Can you do that one? Wondering if I should knock or just step inside. Out of nowhere, a rush of hot air ran down my neck with a distinct sensation which can only be described as someone standing right behind me. Letting out a deep breath, I spun around, heart racing from what I just felt, but nobody was there. Chalking it up to a lack of sleep, I turned around and nearly screamed when the face of an old man stood just inches away. He somehow managed to open the door and positioned himself in the doorway without even making the slightest sound. The man wore brown dress pants, and a brown tweed jacket, Wrinkles lined, that was me. Wrinkles lined his scowling face, which sat under a messy mop of scraggly grey hair. What are you doing out this time of night? Don't know why he's an Irish pirate.
Right, yeah.
His voice barked in the silence of the night, filled with a rasp and old age. Holding my still beating heart, I drew in a deep breath and closed my eyes. I'm just looking for a place to stay for the night, sir. His eyes narrowed, nearly hiding his hazy green irises. After turning and grumbling, the old man gestured.
I've slipped up on that word before.
Gestured me to follow him inside. Only one vacant room, top floor. It's $50. It's $50 a night.
It does. It's goofy.
Only one vacant room, top floor. It's $50 a night. We walked into a dim lobby, lit by candles and decorated with antiques from a bygone time. The old man stepped behind a counter which held various dusty books and old glass bottles. I pulled out my wallet and offered him my card. He took it, shaking his head and letting out a sigh. Only take cash, son. But I tell you what, you can stay for the night and pay me back later. That's not good, is it?
Nothing's for free.
I can't thank you enough. Before I could finish, he cut me off. No need to thank me. It's been a good while since I've had a guest come to stay. He paused, leaned in, and displayed a crooked smile. Oh, God. I'm happy to accommodate... Oh, sorry. I'm happy to accommodate you, son. Take a candle here to light your way. I'm good at this, actually.
There you are. Deep south.
Standing there speechless, I looked down and saw the room number etched into the face of the key. Room 13.
Classic.
The old man continued to show his unflattering smile as I nodded my head and turned to the hallway. I'm just checking how long. I might have to do this in 2 parts. Yes, I will. Where was I?
Okay,
Room 13.
Yeah, go back to that.
The old man continued to show his unflattering smile as I nodded my head and turned to the hallway. Against the dim glow of candlelight, I saw a row of vintage photographs lining the wall. The people in them were dressed from the Victorian era. Walking down the old creaking floorboards, I saw the hallway split into 2 paths. On the right was the staircase to the 2nd floor. To the left sat the intersection of another hallway, with the vague outline of a deer head mounted on the wall like we saw at Chillingham Castle. I stared at that mounted head as I approached the staircase, unnerved by the frightened expression it wore on its frozen dead face. Just when I began to climb the flight of stairs, I saw that fucking deer head move in the peripheral of my vision.
Oh no, the animals are coming to life.
And come back next week for part 2, because it's too fucking long for me to read now.
Interesting. I'm very drawn in by the atmosphere you created there.
Oh, thank you so much. Did you like my southern voice? I'm happy to have you, son. We haven't had a guest for a while.
It sounds like hillbilly Texas Chainsaw Massacre, kind of like.
I don't know whereabouts they are, but I'm going to put them in.
Let's say southern
America, southern states of America. Okay, great.
All right, shall I give you? Would you like a story?
Please, I'm desperate.
I think something tried to lure me into the woods tonight. I can't sleep at all since this happened. And I'm honestly not sure who else to share this with because I think I'll sound crazy, but I have to get this out there because it's been running through my head and I'm so chilled and mortified. I live on this big piece of sort of small farmland with 2 homes. The house my husband and I live in and the house that is owned by his grandparents a short walking distance away. We have a lot of woods surrounding our land and we get a lot of woodland animals that come through our yard a lot. It's one thing I really love about living here. There's a groundhog family I've got to watch grow up that live by one of our sheds that mind their own business and don't bother any of the small crops my husband's nana grows. Anyway, our dogs kind of just know the territory and walk around freely between our 2 homes in the large field. I guess you could call them farm dogs, but they don't really do anything. My dog is a 3-legged 15-year-old Chihuahua that somehow manages to get around better than me. And Nana's really fat beagle who would lick you to death. We're also dog sitting my mother-in-law's big dog for the 4th of July weekend, since she's going to be somewhere with lots of fireworks and he really doesn't like them. And he's familiar with our home. So, last night I came out of the bathroom and the big dog starts freaking out. Like whining, howling, kind of stomping his feet like he wants to show me something, if that makes sense. This isn't really unusual for him because he gets pretty mouthy when he wants outside, so I started going towards the door, which then he started gesturing with his head towards. So I opened the wooden door before our screen door, and he just froze in our kitchen like a statue. My dog then came up behind him and froze too. They both stared directly at me and then turned their heads towards the door in sync, like they were gesturing for me to go outside.
Ugh.
It was so uniform. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it just felt so wrong for them to do, but at the same time, I assumed maybe there was a skunk outside or something. I went out onto the porch to see our grand neighbour's dog sitting happily on our porch, which made me relax a little. There were very distant sounds of fireworks, so I thought maybe that's what our dogs were on edge about. Then the beagle on the porch did the same thing. Looked at me, nodded his head towards the woods, like a suggestion. I noticed he was sitting uncharacteristically still and wasn't panting and snorting like he usually does. I walked to the edge of the porch and looked around for a bit. Eventually, my eyes landed at this one spot. A perfect hole between the trees that allowed me to stare back deeper into the woods a little bit. And in that spot, I saw a pair of eyes open and blink at me.
Oh.
The rest is kind of a haze. I just remember thinking, you need to go to the woods over and over again, while urging myself not to do it. Like I was having a battle with a rope pulling me. It suddenly looked like there was grass that was laid perfectly for me to walk on, like I could point out spots that had been tread on by feet before. The best way I can describe it is like that one Junji Ito story about the fault where people were being lured into their holes. It was like there was a path made for me to walk to this pair of white eyes staring at me in the woods. My husband noticed something was amiss, I guess because he heard the door open and wasn't sure where I was. I always tell him when I go outside to read or sit on the porch for a while, and I kind of just heard him go behind me, "What are you doing?" I remember saying, "I'm just looking." I specifically remember saying that. I would bet money on it that those were the words that left my mouth. My husband kind of started getting worried and started guiding me inside, but I remember saying, "I'm just looking." He finally ushered me inside and shut the door, turned around wide-eyed and kind of questioned, "You do not need to go out into the woods." I was really confused. From what I remembered from his perspective, what he should have seen was me standing on the porch staring into the woods. I never mentioned anything about walking out there. I just had the sensation that I should move. It was then he told me that apparently I kept looking out like I was in a trance and saying different variations of, "I need to walk out into the woods for a little bit."
Oh,
I have no recollection of this at all. I've had weird things happen to me before, but this truly fills me with dread. I don't understand what happened, and I'm honestly really frightened about any of us going outside alone for a bit. I really, really feel like there's something trying to lure us into the woods or something.
I like that.
And there's some comments underneath this story. And someone said, do you mind me asking where you live? And she said, "I'm in Virginia."
Virginia.
And then someone said here, specifically with regard to paranormal stuff, Virginia is sort of a hotspot with lots of revolutionary and Civil War battlefields, not to mention cities of colonies and many murders of indigenous people. There are tons of ghosts.
Oh my
but
God.
by far the creepiest part of Virginia is the western part, when you get into the Appalachian Mountains.
West Virginia,
Country
mountain
road.
mama, take me home, country road. Na na na, na na na.
Get me haunted in Virginia. The Appalachians are crazy old. Older than the Atlantic Ocean, older than bones.
Jesus.
Lots of time for various entities to set up shop, and not all of them are friendly. I've heard more stories than I can count of something trying to lure people into the woods, appearing outside houses, messing with your head. Sometimes it's bobcats, sometimes it's something more sinister. Rule number 1 of visiting Appalachia: don't go into the woods at night. No matter what or who you hear calling. Even if it sounds like someone you know calling your name, you stay put. Even the harshest skeptics I know don't mess with that stuff.
Oh.
So there you go, Appalachian.
Thank you, Virginia.
Yeah, I think we should go to Virginia.
Oh, let's go everywhere.
As soon as I hear that, I'm like, we should go.
Let's go everywhere.
Yeah, I think we're tempting fate by going, I mean, maybe not into the woods at night, but...
No. Oh, no, I'm going to the woods.
Probably would,
I'm going to the woods,
wouldn't
baby. Creep of the week.
Oh, my God. Okay, so Tim has just come on our headphones to say that he went to West Virginia last year. Tim, our editor, is amazing. And has just said that's the area where you get the Mothman. And there's like a Mothman festival. It's like a whole thing. It's like a cryptid. It's one of the cryptids. It's like a proper, well, yeah, saying it's the spookiest area, I think, in the States. I really want to go now.
Let's go.
A friend of mine went to Virginia recently as well, actually.
If we have 100 people saying that they'd come to a live show in Virginia, I reckon we go.
Yeah.
So virgins, contact us.
Hannah, are you ready for Creep of the Week?
Oh my God, I love some Creep of the Week.
Creep of the Week. This Creep of the Week is called Sienna.
Sienna.
See Anna, hear Anna.
Okay.
No, you didn't. That wasn't very funny.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm not funny.
It happens to all of... Oh, actually, not me.
Fuck's sake. Okay, Sienna. Here we go. I wanted to share a really short story involving my daughter, who was 3 at the time. She'd just started at nursery, and our chosen route to school briefly cuts through a cemetery and crematorium. On this day, I was already in work, and when I checked my phone, I had a missed call from my partner. I called him back, and he had sounded the most shaken I'd ever heard him. My daughter is the kindest, sunniest, and friendliest little girl I've ever come across, and she says hello to everybody she meets. Even just walking down the street, she'll greet everybody. As they'd been walking through the cemetery, she'd been talking to my partner when she suddenly stopped and shouted, "Hello." My partner is a bastard for constantly having his head in his phone, so he looked up to see who she'd spoken to. There was nobody there. She shouted again, "Hello," and started waving. My partner was unsettled by this point. He spoke to her and said, "Willow, who are you talking to?" "Daddy, it's a lady. She's waving at me.
Vile.
She's pretty."
Well, sounds like me.
She went on to tell my partner she had a princess dress on. At the time, it meant a long dress. My partner looked around frantically and there was still no one there. "I can't see her, hun. Where is she?" He was hoping she had ducked behind a tree or one of the taller monuments. "There, Daddy," pointing about 10 metres away. "She's coming over to say hi to me."
Oh my God, get out, get out, get out, get out.
Safe to say my partner pretty much ran her out of the cemetery and avoided it for a couple of days.
Oh, that was a very, very creepy one.
Thank you, Sienna.
Very creepy. Thank you very much for sending them in, as per usual.
The idea that it's gliding towards them.
In a princess dress.
No, that meant long dress.
Yeah.
What?
What do you mean?
They're saying that obviously her kid calls long dresses princess dresses. Yeah.
I'm with
So
you.
it's not like Princess Jasmine, like on a
Fuck's
like
sake.
Elsa. Hannah, we're going to do Goosebumps.
I'm so excited.
Reader beware.
Oh, I choose the sky.
Like a deer in headlights. It's like a memory test. You're like, ooh.
Did I pick one last time?
Yeah, so you wanted to run towards the graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? You're like, these 2 teenage ghosts are floating towards you.
I stand by that.
And you don't want to go through them back into the house because remember, there's another ghost in the house.
Yeah.
So you're going to run to the graveyard. And if you do that, you turn to page 93. Yeah, Jesus. Okay. So you choose to go to page 93. You turn on your heels and run as fast as you can, straight towards the graveyard. Hey, Jane calls to you. Don't go in there. Oh, sure, you think. She just doesn't want you to escape.
Oh, fuck, have I made the wrong choice?
You keep running. But the minute you cross the property line from your grandmother's garden, from your grandmother's garden, from your grandmama's garden, from your grandmother's garden into the cemetery, a terrible chill runs down your spine. Your whole body feels as if it has turned to ice or stone. Exposed brick. You stop running and begin to move, very slowly. I am walking among the dead, you hear yourself say in a flat voice. Why did I say that, you wonder? You are walking among the dead, John says right behind you. He and Jane float around the graveyard. I am a prisoner of the graves, you hear yourself say. You are a prisoner of the graves, John and Jane repeat your words together. You take a few more steps. Your legs are so stiff you can barely move. You look down at your feet and scream. Ah! My feet have turned to stone. Go to page 77.
Oh, fuck's sake, I'm
You might
dead.
have fucked it. Yeah, I think you might. You're going to become a statue, aren't you?
I'm so annoyed at myself.
It's true. Your feet have turned to stone. So has the rest of you. Help! You want to cry out, but you can't speak. Stone lips don't move. I warned you, Jane says quietly.
Fuck.
Ha ha, John says, laughing and pointing at you. You're stuck. He wags a finger in your stony face. You'd like to bite him, but you can't. You can't do anything. You're a statue. You've turned to solid stone. See what happens when you walk among the dead, John says. You should have listened to Jane. Don't ever walk with a dead person into a graveyard. It's the most dangerous thing you can do.
Well, I didn't know that.
Now they tell you. Go on to page 113 if you can.
I think I'm going to have one more choice, and if I fuck it up, I'm going to be dead.
Yeah, go on and try it. Try to turn the page, stony fingers.
Ah, bit rude.
R.L. Stein is such a joker.
Yeah.
Right, 113. I
That
bet it's-
sneaped me.
I think it might be the end for you.
Oh, no.
So there you are, standing like a stone statue in a graveyard. You probably think this is the end, don't you? Well, it could have been. But a few days later, the graveyard caretaker comes by. He notices you.
Smashed it.
And realises that you don't belong there. Pretty soon, he figures out he could get a lot of money for a stone statue of a kid.
Why?
So he backs his pickup truck.
What? How many times? How
It's
in
very
demand?
sought after. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I just want a rocky kid. Yeah, that's what I want. And my fucking.
Sound like MJ.
So he-
all the MJ lovers are going to come for us now.
Oh, yeah, I hope they do. So he backs his pickup truck into the cemetery and loads you on it. Then he drives away. He sells you to a garden shop that sells stone statues to put in
dead.
people's gardens. A few months later, your grandmother walks into the shop and sees you standing there. She can't believe her eyes. A statue that looks exactly like her missing grandchild. She buys you and brings you back to her house. Unfortunately, your grandmother's house is still haunted, but for some reason, she's never noticed the ghosts floating all around. But you notice them, especially the two ghosts you hate the most, the Luckmayer twins. They spend the rest of eternity teasing you and pinching your stone
I'm
nose.
fucking dead.
And you just have to stand there and take it until the end of time.
Are you serious?
You absolutely got that wrong.
That's the most fucking annoying thing.
You ran into
I'm
the
genuinely
graveyard.
annoyed.
I know. It's always a shame when it ends prematurely.
It's so fast.
It's quick. It's quick.
Well,
Well done, Hannah. You're dead.
maybe we'll carry on that next. Maybe I'll find one for you next
Stony-faced
week.
and dead.
I'm going to find one for you next week. Okay, we're gonna do we get haunted, so you don't have to. Next episode, I'm gonna tell Susie's fortune with the cards, but this time, Suzie, you're gonna do Candyman.
Oh,
Yes, you are.
what? Like the film?
Like the film Candyman.
Fuck.
Candyman, but you do have to stand up.
Oh,
Get your phone.
doesn't it have to be in a mirror? Oh no, why am I saying that? Why am I digging my own
No,
grave?
you're gonna use your phone, mirror, your phone, camera, whatever.
No. What is it? I've seen the film. It doesn't end well.
Oh, no, it won't end well for you.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, look. Actually, oh, God.
Okay, so very similar to... Oh, God, here she goes. Very similar to Bloody Mary. What's going to happen is you're going to say Candyman 5 times, and then later on, he's going to come and kill you with a hook.
With his hoop.
With his hoop, with his pierced torso. Hopefully he should appear in the mirror. Can we turn the lights down? Or no?
It's really good lighting for me here.
Okay. Close your eyes. Stand on one leg.
What? That's not in the film,
Yeah, it is.
dickhead.
Yeah, it is. It's in the game.
I'm standing on one leg. I am, look.
Okay. Right, close your eyes. And you cannot open your eyes till you've said Candyman 5 times. Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
Why it's about balance, this.
yeah, it's about emotional balance. Right, okay. Start whenever you feel ready.
Candyman. It's hard. Can I balance?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you can balance,
Okay,
yeah.
ready? Candyman. Don't prank me.
I'm not. I'm waiting for you to do it. I'm scared.
Candyman.
How many was that? You're doing it so
3.
fast. Start again and just get in. Can you please get in the zone and stop acting the twat?
Candyman.
Open your eyes and look at the mirror. Is he there?
No.
Maybe he'll come later.
Okay.
When you've done your gig later.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Shall I do it quick?
Yeah. Yes. I'd really appreciate if you actually did. Yeah.
Okay.
And you need to record it in portrait mode.
Oh my God.
Landscape mode. Landscape mode.
Do I have to record it?
Yes. Obviously.
This lighting is great, isn't it?
You're not putting it's in portrait landscape.
No.
I've done mine in
Does it work
landscape.
for me?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 foot off.
Yeah, I have. That's why I'm leaning in.
Right, okay. And go.
Candyman.
Ah!
Ah! That actually really scared me. I wasn't recording. Just start again.
Yeah.
Okay. That was really scary. Okay, good.
Ready, steady, go.
Candyman. You absolutely shit yourself. Did you see your face? I wish I'd have turned my camera around. I should have turned my camera around because you went like true horror film. Oh my gosh.
That was actually quite spooky. What?
I could have sworn I just saw someone at the thing.
fuck
Honestly,
off.
no, I could. Something caught me out of the corner of my eye in the studio doors. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. We'll let you know next week whether or not we did manage to summon the Candyman.
Also, two people have written in actually that when we did Hello Kitty Ball Bag episode, I think it's 23, there's a figure that walks behind me at 1 minute,
Fuck
1 hour.
off.
And
Does that
9
actually
minutes.
happen?
I checked this morning and it does.
Oh, you need to show me. Okay, me and Suzie are going to go off and record another episode of Huns After Dark, which you can get exclusively on Patreon. It is a brand new episode every week of Huns After Dark, which is me and Suzie talking ghost talking,
yeah.
creepy, talking sexy beasts.
Yeah.
And
all the
you get a
goss.
ghost hunt a month, so join us over on Patreon.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
For
I'm actually on
£4.50.
edge. And don't forget, if you haven't already, Edinburgh
Eddie B.
live show on the 26th. And keep Halloween free because you know it. There's a London show.
There's a London show.
You know when that is, 31st of October. It's a Tuesday. Keep it free.
We're on the cusp of confirming our venue. We are very, 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 very close.
I'm going to say it because it's out in 2 weeks.
Okay.
The Museum of Comedy.
Which is in a crypt.
It's a fucking crypt.
So we're doing it in the Museum of Comedy. We will have tickets available soon.
No, already. We'll have, I think by the time this is
Oh, by
out,
the time it's out, yes, of course, sorry.
So-
by the time it's out, there's a very good chance that we'll have tickets available. We'll be putting it all on Instagram.
Yeah, so we'll have our live show dates for Edinburgh and London. Pick whichever you'd like. And obviously we're going to hopefully come to wherever you are. up north.
Up
Midlands.
north. We're gonna listen.
Scotland,
we're gonna go on a
Ireland.
little tour. We're gonna go on a little tour.
But meanwhile, book your London tickets, and we will see you very soon.
Bye.
Goodbye, you spooky bashes. Bye.
Bye.